We'll stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It is 6:30, so we'll call the special budget hearing to order. So roll call.
Nelson. Here. Lower.
Here.
Munson.
Here.
Smock.
Here.
Frick.
Here.
Yates.
Here.
And Ballmer.
All right, so this is the budget hearing, and what we do, the budget's displayed up here. This is just public comment, so if anybody has a comment about the budget from the public, this is your time to make a public comment to the board. Jake, can you go see if you guys sign up to make a public comment?
So we'll adjourn this meeting and go into the regularly scheduled board meeting, so there'll be another opportunity for public comments at that. So these comments should be centered around the budget. So Valerie Talbot, did you have the budget or the next? Okay, sounds good. All right. Since how there are no public comments, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn the budget public hearing.
All right. Second. Yates seconds. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. All right. Now we will call the regularly scheduled board meeting for Wednesday, September 24th to order. Roll call, please.
Balmer.
Here.
Lower.
Here.
Munson.
Here.
Nelson. Here. Smock.
Here.
Frick.
Here.
Yates.
Here.
All right. So for public comments, we usually give you 5 minutes for public comments. I'll read on the back of the agenda is the rules for public comment. Board of Education welcomes public comment during the public comment portion of the agenda. Those who wish to address the board should state their name and limit their statement to 5 minutes. Comments are not restricted to items on the agenda. However, comments regarding specific student discipline cases are not allowed during open session. Generally, these type of comments should reach the board only after they've been referred to the teacher, principal, or administrator who is closest to the situation. If all other avenues for resolving these items have been exhausted and the issue has not been resolved, you may request to address the board, usually during closed session. In addition, please refrain from using derogatory comments about staff members or students at this time. So Valerie, you can come up like, I'll start a timer. All right, go ahead.
Good evening, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Valerie Talbot, and I come before you as a concerned parent who cares deeply about the education and well-being of our youngest learners. I want to pose several questions for you to consider as you deliberate the proposal to move and split the preschool program. My goal is not only to provide perspective, but also to ensure that every decision made keeps the best interest of these children considered. First, to those board members who voted against the move in April. What were your reasons for voting no at that time, and do you believe those concerns have now been fully addressed? To all board members, have you visited the preschool during school hours to observe what takes place on the daily, the care, structure, and learning environment these children depend on? Have you looked at the Mercer County Early Learning Center's Facebook page and seen the smiles on these children's faces as they learn and grow in a space designed specifically for them? Have you compared the classroom dimensions of the current facility with those at Apollo to fully understand what this transition would mean for classroom space and safety? Are you aware that the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends at least 3 hours of gross motor play for children ages 3 to 5? Can you guarantee that this standard will be met if the move occurs? What plans do you have to ensure the safety of preschool children on playgrounds not designed for their age group? Will there be dedicated spaces for them at Apollo that meet their age-appropriate safety standards? Why keep the current facility open for sport events, but not for the preschool program itself? Have you personally asked the ELC teachers, the ones who work with these children every day, what they believe is best for the students? And perhaps most importantly, if this were your child, could you put a price on their safety, their early education, and the impact this decision could have on the rest of their academic journey? I have spent a great deal of time thinking about these questions, and here's what I know. Splitting the preschool would reduce class sizes from 15 students to about 12. While that might not seem significant, it would ultimately mean many children could be turned away from preschool entirely. Those children would then enter kindergarten without the foundational knowledge and social skills preschool provides. This would place a heavier burden on kindergarten teachers and could impact students across all grade levels for years to come. There is a 300 square foot deficit between some of the classrooms currently in use and the ones that are being proposed at Apollo, raising concerns about adequate space for learning and play. The so-called open rooms at Apollo are in fact currently being used for special education students, further complicating the issue. So I leave you with one final question, one that I hope resonates above all else. What if this were your child? At the heart of this discussion are not buildings, budgets, or logistics, it's the children. Every choice you make will shape their earliest memory of school, their safety, and their readiness for the future. So I ask you before you cast your vote to picture your own child at 3 or 4 years old. Would you settle for less than what is best for them because our children deserve nothing less? Thank you for your time, your attention, and for considering the voices of parents who care deeply about
board comments? All right. We did not have any correspondence, did we? Item 5, approval of consent agenda. Does anyone have anything in the consent agenda that they would like pulled out for consideration? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve. Yates moves, Frick seconds. Roll call, please.
Palmer,
Yes.
Lower,
Yes.
Munson,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smock,
Yes.
Frick,
Yes.
Yates.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Item 6, committee reports, Finance Committee. Jason, you were at the Finance Committee. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on that was not listed on the board agenda? Is there anything you took from it that you'd like to,
One thing is that the Ford Transit van.
Yeah.
If we move forward with that, purchase order has to be agreed upon by September 30th to
qualify for that rebate? Okay. All right, and that is in our action item, so we'll discuss that later as well. And we're going to be approving the FY '26 budget, so that was discussed at length, and then guidance on the building projects as well. Building and grounds, was there anything, you guys discussed the health, life, safety at the high school. Then you got a cost update on the previously approved design. What,
We want to, we looked at classroom analysis and we know we have to get an updated cost on the building design that we had previously approved.
Yep.
And we also wanted to utilize that classroom analysis to see what a smaller footprint would look like cost-wise. So based on that classroom analysis, it doesn't mean we'll go one way or the other, but if you're getting one, you might as well get the other.
awesome. And it looks like we'll touch on that too and discuss that a little bit more. So did, it says, so we have not obtained the updated cost yet, that's just, we're looking. Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Okay, great. Great. And then, 6.3, Transportation Committee, we met, we discussed routes, looking at better ways to become more efficient, and then also looked at our fleet management and how we wanna, and that's one of the transit van is one of those items that we came up and then took to the Finance Committee. So we went through those items as well to discuss those. I think is, okay. That was pretty much it for the Transportation Committee. Tab, you didn't have anything else, did you?
No.
All right. Perfect. All right. Item number 7, FOIA requests. There were none. That's good. Academic improvement planning. Just going to share this. Apologize, I'm not usually the one who casts this stuff. All right. So, Mr. Smith is going to help talk through, we're looking at the math curriculum. And so I'm going to have him come in and discuss a little bit. This is the team that's a part of that math
Yeah, so at the beginning of the year, Mr. Forker got, I think there's 6 of us from the elementaries, the junior high staff, and then some of the high school staff together to review and look at the current math curriculum that we have across all the different buildings. So we've been meeting every Wednesday essentially from the beginning of the school year. We first started to look at what we all currently have, and then starting to then analyze different potential curriculums that we could then start to pilot, hopefully coming up here pretty soon. Go to the next slide. What's on the next one? Yeah, skip that one. So we used Ed Reports. Ed Reports is a nonprofit that uses thousands of different teachers to go through and review under strict standards. And so we use that kind of as a benchmark look that they give score reports on different categories. So once for us in the meeting, we suggested different curriculum, and then we kind of used the Ed Reports to kind of narrow that down, and looking at the ones that were all pretty much 100s across the board. So this kind of displays some of that stuff. So then once we were there, the team then voted on which ones we wanted to then continue to look at and discuss further. We've kind of narrowed it down to where each kind of grade band of K5, 6, 8, and then the high school each has some different ones that we voted on, with the goal that Mr. Forker was reaching out to these different places to get materials sent in to us, so that we could then look it over and then determine as a group and as a team of which ones we actually wanted to pilot, to then be able to hopefully pilot some of that stuff here in the next couple months. With then the hope in mind that either if we find something that is that we feel is amazing and great, that we would then come to the board and recommend that, or if we have the potential that if we feel like we didn't find anything amazing and great, that we may continue with what we are doing as well. It just kind of depending on how it went, but I think the goal in mind is to continue to try to look to see how we can improve and get better, but also if what we're doing is working as well. So just trying to get the math groups together and talk and have conversations amongst, especially I think at the elementary level, with the distance to get them together to talk and try to have some discussions across the board about that. I don't know if there's
So some of them are just like iReady is just K through 8, so then we'd have to get something else for the high school. Is that how that works?
Potentially, but so some of the things that we have found and looked at whenever we look at, like, some curriculum hasn't been reviewed by Ed Reports before. So like, or some have a high school curriculum, but that part hasn't been reviewed. And so you can send in the request for Ed Reports to go through and do that review. And so we kind of went under the assumption, like, there are some of them that do have a high school curriculum, and if they're kind of 100s across the board, K8, that we assume that that would probably be the general case for the high school as well, but not always. We also discussed that some curriculums that we know they may cater to the elementary, but then they tack on junior high because they can make more money off of it. So we are trying to look at a lot of different avenues.
You could do maybe 2 different ones.
We've talked about either doing it as in a K-12, a K-8, and then high school, or in the buckets of elementary, junior high, and high school, which is kind of where we're at right now, but there's a lot of different things at the elementary, so I think that's the big goal, narrow it down to maybe just one. So, I don't, like the current junior high one I know hasn't been reviewed by Ed Reports, so like that one they said couldn't have, but yeah, I think the next time we're supposed to meet is October 8th. Hopefully we get the materials in and we're supposed to kind of discuss and figure out who's going to pilot what, and then hopefully during November, December we can pilot as much as we can. I do know that some members of the group have discussed concern of how quick the piloting is. Of when we did the review, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, we reviewed for almost an entire year. Not with the current dates, it's 32 days, school days. So there are some of us that are a little worried about that aspect of doing it too quickly and just trying to hurry up and pick something that may not be what's best for us long-term. So that has also been discussed in our meetings as well.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Smith. Appreciate it. Any board members have any questions for Mr. Smith or? Okay. Perfect. Then we are moving on to the high school renovation plan. This is what Jake was talking about, where they touched on projected classroom analysis. Looks like that's what you were doing here, right? That's the.
Yep, the only thing that I didn't mention before was the classroom analysis just came up with us maybe having an opportunity for less classrooms and scheduling to accommodate that and see what that would do to the overall cost of the project.
And the health, life, safety, where do we stand with that? Is that, is the architect still coming to review? They haven't been
Yep.
to review?
Yeah, and then that'll kind of flow with the project as well, depending on what we do with the high school, kind of dictates what we have to be on that list.
Perfect. All right, any questions about the high school renovation plan? All right, 7.4, dedicated SRO, junior high Apollo. I know that we're still investigating. We have active agreements with City of Aledo, City of Boston, and the Mercer County Sheriff's Department. We have active CROs at New Boston Elementary, and then we have an Aledo SRO that kind of bounces. So the Mercer County Sheriff's Department is continuing to work to try to help us find an SRO. Placement would either be junior high, high school, or junior high Apollo or the high school. And then cost would be approximately $70,000. Does anybody have any questions about the dedicated SRO? We're still in discussions with Mercer County Sheriff's Department.
So does that mean Officer Ford would stay at one location, hire another?
Yeah, you'd have one for this campus and one at high school. How I understand it. All right. You do? All right, on to item number 8, action items. FY26 budget. So, that was in everyone's packet. It's also been posted on the website. It shows the ed fund revenue expenses, building fund revenue and expenses, all of them there. Anybody have any questions about the FY26 budget? Was there anything in particular at the finance meeting that came out of it, Jason?
Just the deficit. I mean, there's an overall deficit, but the majority of it's in the ed fund.
Yeah, it looks like it's a $3.4 million deficit.
Right, total, and ed fund's about 2.2 of that.
And these budgets are living documents. They get adjusted throughout the year as things come in. But revenue from our property tax standpoint is pretty well set. We know what that is. The state revenue can fluctuate a little bit. I would entertain a motion to approve the FY26 budget as presented.
I'll move to approve that budget.
Second. Munson moves, Yates second. Roll call, please.
Lower,
Yes.
Munson,
Yes.
Nelson. Smock,
Yes.
Frick,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Ballmer.
Motion carries. 8.2, action on FY27-28 on school year FY27 pre-K placement. So the recommendation is that we move them back to the elementary schools. Entertain a motion. discussion?
Is that building going to be done? Will New Boston be done by that time? Because we voted a year ago for that to be moved in.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
scheduled to be done.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Roll call, please.
What is the motion?
To move the pre-Ks back to the elementary school.
Munson,
Yes.
Nelson,
No.
Smock,
Yes.
Frick,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Ballmer,
Yes.
Lower.
Yes.
All right, motion carries 6-1. Action on tentative 2025 school tax levy. So, based on a EAV of 9.32%, looking at a tax levy of $13,337,079. These are all projections. What we end up asking the county for are those total extension dollars. We actually ask them for a dollar amount. So if the levy goes up or down, that affects the rate of what, the rate that we get. But if we can't get more than that in the ed fund, $7,453,000, we can't get more than that because that's what we're asking them for. If the levy is, or I'm sorry, if the EAV is lower than the 9.32%, we would get less than 7.4 million. So, anyone have any questions? Any of the board members have any questions on the FY25 school tax levy?
So as my understanding, this is a tentative levy, we'll vote on the final levy.
That is correct. So we'll have a truth and taxation hearing before November. Is that right? Yeah.
In Rock Island County has already told them for the 3 properties that we have there, 7% is
7.82%.
is the yes.
Yeah. They seem to have a little, they do it differently than we do it here. So, I would entertain a motion to approve the tentative 2025 tax levy.
I'll make a motion to approve the tentative 2025 school tax levy.
Rick moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Lower second. Roll call vote, please.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smock,
Yes.
Frick,
Yes.
Yates, Ballmer,
Yes.
Lower,
Yes.
Munson.
Yes.
All right, 7-0, approved. 8.4, for transit purchase. So we qualify for a clean air rebate if we get the purchase done by September 30th. So it looks like it's a 2023?
Yes.
38,000, a brand new, or a used 2020, same, similar model was 43,990. So we're getting this brand new 0 miles e-transit van for $38,500 after the rebate. Does anybody have any questions about the purchase of this?
I would say the driver's activity buses, I really like these. It's used a lot. So the style is something they definitely recognize.
Yep. I would entertain a motion to approve the purchase of the Ford Transit van.
I'll move.
Yates seconds. Roll call, please.
Smock,
Yes.
Frick,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Ballmer,
Yes.
Lower,
Yes.
Munson,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. 9 administrative reports. Back you have anything to add?
Just that I'd like to do the district and community stuff down there, and then make sure you take a look at the pictures. Our Kindness Club met for the first time again this year on September 15th. We continue to get a ton of community support for that, and so it's been great. We're looking to spread kindness through all the schools in the district, so I know we've got some good projects planned for that. I think we had between 70 and 80 kids stay after school the other day for that Kindness Club, so it was in the gym. So that's a great thing for our building. We were thankful we got awarded an Exceed grant for $5,000. So in this board packet, you can see those pictures. We were able to upgrade our patio area, which since I got here, we really haven't been able to utilize very much. But now we got classrooms eating lunch out there. They're doing class out there, especially now since the weather's been so nice. We have shaded patio tables and everything. So that has been great. We did at the beginning of the year receive a ton of school supplies, book bags, crayons, markers, that kind of stuff for kids in need from Walmart and other community members. So we appreciate that stuff as well too. Anytime we get donations for the kids, that's good.
There's the pictures. Wasn't quick at getting them up, but that looks really nice. That space is awesome. And then you'd mentioned something about some landscaping. Was that in there too?
Well, I had to, in order for the tables to fit, yes, I had to trim some trees.
It was getting a little overgrown. And then the $500, was that from the VFW?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
they
it had a space in there, it didn't
Yeah.
say who, but
Yeah, it was from
I know the New Boston had it in there, so I was like, that's nice.
Yeah, that's for milk money for kids that can't afford milk break. Ton of community support, which are great.
Deal. Thank you. And then ELC, is there any?
Yeah, something I didn't put on here, I have a picture, but we have some new technology in our classroom. It's an imagination station. The ROE got a grant, so we're just kind of having each class use it for about a month and then moving it to the next classroom. But it's a really neat sand table, and you can also project it as virtual reality, and the kids absolutely love it. So that's something new we have in our classrooms. And then our preschool PD day was really amazing at the ROE. There were speakers that talked about the title of the PD was Building Calm Classrooms from the ground up, and the presenters really gave our staff some good ideas on teaching kids self-regulation skills, and they came away with some free resources and things to implement in their classroom. So it was a really good day.
Yeah. Is that the imagination station?
Yes, it
there?
is.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
there's little fish that are floating around in there. They're trying to scoop up.
That's great. All right, then the high school.
Yep, that's me.
Oh, there you are. Joel.
So, been a busy month. We are, I don't know if you guys saw on Facebook and or other media outlets when it comes to drivers in, they had the sprayer come and kind of work with the driver's ed students in regards to what it's like to drive one of those. Had a simulator there, had many compliments, community members. Anytime they saw that, they said that was a great idea. So that was nice of Mr. Robinson and Mrs. Swanson to put that on. Good news also, Key Club was able to get 20 homecoming dresses for students to wear for homecoming. Mrs. Haynes, and Mrs. Staker are working on interviews in regards to seniors and juniors to kind of plan out their futures. Most of you probably know it was an awesome event this last weekend. The art gala, Miss G and her people, I'd say art collective put on there at the Opera House, and also the walk I heard was great too. And so that's something that I'm going to definitely look forward to next year. The staffing wise, we're trying to use the STAR assessment tool in Renaissance to gauge where students are at benchmark wise. Homecoming, if you haven't heard, homecoming's this week. Big game on Friday. Today was meme day, and so we had, it's amazing to see all the people's interpretation on, and for the most part, I don't know if there's teachers in here, but it was for the most part appropriate, and mostly funny, and so in that regards. It's one of those, for us, it's not usual for us to have to tell a guy, hey, you need to lower your shorts down a little bit, because his outfit was a little slight. So we brief talk, and that was taken care of. So then we have the dance over there at the fairgrounds on Saturday, 8 to 11. You guys are welcome to stop by if you want to. Should be a good time. Mr. Robles has that awesome organizational ability, and with the student council and getting that, a lot of hard work has been put in for that. Great Manners is doing their 5K hopefully in the spring sometime, instead of what was previously posted for October. So that's hopefully being postponed, and we'll be doing that in the spring. Hopefully with more people, and that allows, I said Coach Murray himself, at least myself, more training in regards to getting ready for that 5K. We are working with the junior high and scheduling the Titles Tower on October 23rd. With the amount of slots that we have, the amount of students we're going to take, we're seeing that as a reward type of selection of who gets to go from a high school point of view. And then we're also trying to plan a Veterans Day celebration that we would like to invite the community to on that Monday, November 10th, because the 11th, apparently the veterans are busy with a parade here in Aledo at 11, and then the New Boston celebration too at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I believe. And so that's why we pushed it to the 10th there at the high school gym. For the most part, that's all we have. So thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Mr. CDM, the junior high.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of give a shout out to some of my staff, kind of just going above and beyond and creating opportunities for students. We have always had Student Senate. A few years ago, we added Hope Squad, and that's been a huge culture builder for our building, what they've been able to do. Last year, a couple years ago, we added like a chess club after school that involves a ton of kids, and I had another teacher approach this year about creating crafts in the morning. So it's just opportunities for kids to get in our building and work together and do some fun stuff, not just math and reading and all the other things. So, you don't see that a lot of junior highs, so shout out to my staff for doing a great job.
Good deal. Thank you. And New Boston. Well, I'm going to share a couple pictures that she had. They had a dedication or a little opening for the playground. So all the kids got a little thing to shoot streamers up in the air. And the adults picked it up, so we didn't clean it up for them. So the kids really loved it. They enjoyed it, and I think the overall playground is supposed to be completed. They still had some AstroTurf to lay down, and it's supposed to be done by the end of October, right? I think that's why I saw that somewhere. It's probably in her notes here. So great. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, then I would entertain a motion to go into closed session. Closed session. Yates, is there a second? Palmer, second. Roll call, please.
Frick,
Yes.
Yates,
Yes.
Palmer,
Yes.
Lower,
Yes.
Munson,
Yes.
Nelson. Smock.
Yes. All right. We will come out of closed session, or we will go into closed session at 7:15. So we'll be back at 7:15. Oh, yeah.
I've got one in my car, I just don't forgot to grab it with me. This is probably a no, but I gotta ask. Did Mr. Forker discuss with you at all the groups that we were trying to get scheduled for the Towers exhibit in October? I was trying to get an idea of the number of groups that are coming.
I think there was a meeting last night.
Yeah, they had a meeting last night. This is since then. Her comment was that she hadn't